The rule of borrowing strength from the wealthy is often summed up as, the rich lend their strength, while the poor sell their labor. Do you agree with this statement? From my perspective, the divide between the rich and the poor goes beyond just financial wealth. It also encompasses a disparity in mindset. Allow me to explain why, and perhaps, by the end of these stories, you'll find your answer. The first story illustrates the concept of leveraging resources around you. Imagine a young boy struggling to move a heavy stone in a yard. His father observes and encourages him, saying, "Keep trying to move it, son." The stone proves too heavy, and the child remarks, "It's too heavy, Dad. I've given it my all." The father replies, "You haven't tried everything yet." Perplexed, the boy looks at his father, who smiles and adds, "Because I'm here beside you, but you haven't asked me for help." Often, we're like that boy. We tend to evaluate our ability to achieve a task based on our individual capacity and resources. However, in reality, there's no rule that says you must rely solely on your own abilities to achieve something. Many successful people don't succeed solely because of their personal capabilities, but because they can integrate various resources. This is the lesson of borrowing strength from others, also known as leveraging. The second story relates to Zhuge Liang, a master at making use of the rule of borrowing strength during the Three Kingdoms period. One day, Chu Du asked Zhuge Liang, "You must make 10,000 arrows for me in 3 days." This seemed like an impossible task, so why did Zhuge Liang agree? When you can't perform a task on your own, you can borrow someone else's resources to get it done. Zhuge Liang approached Cao Cao and said, "I want to defeat you. Can you lend me 10,000 arrows?" Naturally, Cao Cao didn't suspect Zhuge Liang's intent and provided the arrows. However, Zhuge Liang genuinely borrowed 10,000 arrows from Cao Cao. On a foggy morning, Zhuge Liang deployed thousands of straw-covered wooden boats to simulate an attack on Cao Cao's camp. Cao Cao believed Zhuge Liang was truly daring to assassinate him and ordered his archers to unleash a barrage of arrows. Every arrow hit the straw on the boats. In less than an hour, Zhuge Liang had received over 10,000 arrows from Cao Cao. This is the famous straw boat borrowing arrows story from history, showcasing the pinnacle of borrowing strength through clever thinking. The third story involves transporting thousands of books to a new library for free. The British Library is renowned worldwide for its vast book collection. During a transition, they needed to move all their books to the new library. To achieve this, they advertised in the newspaper, saying, "Starting today, every citizen can borrow 10 books for free from the British Library." As a result, countless citizens flocked to the library, and within days, they had borrowed all the books. The library then requested, "After you've finished reading, please return the books to the new library." Using this method, the library harnessed the collective strength of the people to transfer their massive book collection with minimal cost. This demonstrates the idea of 4 ounces can move 1,000 pounds. The fourth story involves a crow that ate walnuts. In a village filled with walnuts, crows would arrive every year during late autumn and early winter to pick the remaining walnuts from the orchards. These fruits were delicious, but their shells were incredibly tough. So the crows devised a strategy to pick the fruits first and then fly up to a high tree branch to drop the fruits. Some of the fruits would shatter upon impact, allowing the crows to eat them easily. However, this method didn't result in many broken fruits. Still, the crows were not discouraged. They found a better way by studying the surroundings. There was a mountain road with many passing cars. The crows would pick the walnuts and drop them on the road just before a car approached. The wheels of the cars easily crushed the tough shells. After a car had passed, the crows would descend and enjoy their meal. This illustrates how observing and exploring the characteristics of your environment can yield results far beyond the effort invested. Borrowing strength isn't limited to human-to-human relationships. It can also involve harnessing the power of the environment around us. The fifth story, a tale of different mindsets between the poor and the rich. This fifth story delves into the contrasting mindset of the poor and the rich. A destitute man, overwhelmed by his plight, cried out to a deity because he didn't have enough food to eat and clothes to wear. He lamented the difficulties he faced in life. After shedding tears for a while, he began to complain, saying, "This society is so unfair. Why do the wealthy people get to enjoy their lives every day while the poor suffer daily?" The deity asked him, "What do you think would be fair?" The poor man quickly responded, "Let the wealthy experience the hardships I endure, and let them perform the same tasks as I do. If they remain wealthy, I will stop complaining." The deity agreed, and without delay, transformed a rich person into a poor one. Every day, both of them had to work in a coal mine and could sell the mine coal for their sustenance. The coal mine was to be completely dug out within a month. The poor man, accustomed to hard labor in the coal mine, found the work relatively easy. In no time, he had extracted a pile of coal, taken it to the market, and earned some money. He used this money to buy delicious food and drinks, ensuring his family's well-being. The formerly wealthy man, on the other hand, had never engaged in such strenuous labor. He would dig for a while, then take breaks due to exhaustion, despite profusely sweating. In the evenings, he reluctantly sold the coal. The rich man was compelled to sell most of the coal for meager wages. Eventually, he also had to spend some of his hard-earned money to buy food, but it was basic fare. He could hardly save anything. The next day, the poor man diligently resumed his coal mining, while the formerly rich man decided to go to the market instead. After some time, he returned with two robust individuals and paid them to extract the coal. He, in the meantime, supervised the work. In just one morning, the formerly rich man instructed the two laborers, who managed to mine several coal carts and sell them in the market, earning a substantial sum. A month passed swiftly, with the poor man barely extracting a small portion of the coal, using his daily earnings to support his family's basic needs. The once wealthy man, however, had commanded his workers to dig out the entire coal mine, accumulating significant wealth in the process. He then invested this wealth wisely, building a prosperous business empire. So, what do you think? Nearly everyone wishes to become prosperous and escape poverty. Consequently, the majority of people work for money. If you encounter favorable circumstances, you can smoothly change your situation and achieve your dream of becoming wealthy. However, not everyone is fortunate enough to have such opportunities. Many people work tirelessly, earn fixed salaries, watch others grow rich, lament the injustice of life, and blame their fate and others. In reality, it's not difficult to observe that in similar circumstances, the poor typically focus on earning money and spending it all, repeatedly engaging in this cycle, yet they rarely accumulate much. The rich, however, differ. Initially, they work hard to earn money, but they don't merely save it. They also possess the mindset to borrow strength from external sources, utilizing the efforts of others to make money. They might even borrow money from others to earn more. The path to making money becomes wider. The more money they naturally accumulate. Therefore, If you aspire to become wealthy and successful, the mindset of borrowing strength is essential. When you know how to leverage talent and collaborate with others, you can achieve success with half the effort. In conclusion, borrowing strength from various sources, be it financial resources, other people, or the environment, is a valuable strategy for achieving success. It's not solely about individual capabilities, but about the ability to integrate and utilize the resources available to you, no matter how seemingly insurmountable the task may be. These stories exemplify the wisdom of leveraging the strengths of the rich, the clever, and the collective. This narrative underscores the importance of shifting one's perspective and embracing the concept of borrowing strength to maximize success. Whether you are rich or poor, your ability to harness external resources and work collaboratively can significantly impact your journey towards financial prosperity and achievement.